The reproduction of this content is not allowed without the express written consent of EBH Fitness, LLC. We're back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Week 4 Wednesday walkthrough show with your host here, Steve Howard, and my co-host, Kenny Davis. We're going to get you guys ready for the action coming up here in Week 4, and, man, it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be, there's a lot of Game A, Game of the Week, Game 1A, 1B, 1C,
Definitely.
Game of the Week. So there's a lot of top-notch competition coming out this week, and we're looking forward to giving you our predictions, doing some little rundowns of some key stats out there, and the leaders 3 weeks in.
Yes, sir. So let's look at the top 10. Let's
Sure.
kick it off with the top 10.
All right.
For the most part, our top 10 stayed the same except for one exception. One exception. Eastlake kicked themselves into the top 10.
Oh, I tell you what, they had a heck of a game this past week, and they demonstrated by beating El Dorado that
Definitely.
they deserve to crawl into the top 10. And so it's certainly congratulations over there to the Falcons.
Eastlake kicked themselves in the top 10, and somebody had to drop out, and that was America's.
Yeah, and that's, tough, a tough loss, triple overtime. And but you know what? Every week you're going to have to prove you get to stay.
Definitely. I mean, it's getting down to 6A had already started. The crucible has already started there, but it's about to start for everybody else. District play is going to start, and those games going to get tight.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get tight. So let's look at talking about the top 10. We're going to look at their schedule and matchups. So let's start at the top. Let's start at the bottom at 10 and work our way up.
And work
How
our
about
way
that?
up. Yeah.
So coming in at number 10, we got Austin. No, I'm sorry, Hanks. Hanks playing Austin. So 7 p.m. game. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I'll tell you what, with Austin, you know what you're going to get. It is going to be ground and pound, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, a tough football game. Now, this is kind of one of those games where when you prepare for it, I mean, you're only going to see this offense maybe once, maybe twice a year, and you come out of that game really, really beat up and sore because it is a physical football game. And so from the Austin perspective, they are certainly going to come ready to run the rock and ground and pound.
Well, I tell you what, man, Hanks at 3-0. I think one of the big surprises here in the city. My choice for this game, I'm going with Hanks. I'm going to go with our top 10. Hanks over Austin. I think Austin, unfortunately, is going to drop to 0-4. Just going as they get ready to get to district play. It's going to be a tough one to come out of. But.
So we're gonna keep scores on these because we're gonna have to start writing them down. Put a little tote board that we'll put behind us.
We're gonna have it scrolling across the bottom.
Yeah, scrolling across
yeah.
so you can see whose predictions.
Yeah.
This is my upset of the week. I know what Austin always looks like. Hanks has been throwing the ball a lot, but this Austin team is a physical football team. Historically, has always had top-notch kids over there. And I'm going to throw a name out there. I don't know when they're going to put him up on varsity. His name is Sal, young Sal. This young fella in the track is running 11.3. He's a freshman, 11.3. That's going to win that district in track and field. I don't know how long Coach Pichardo can keep that kid down in freshman football, just breaking runs up and down the field. It's time to see that guy at the varsity level.
Well, you mentioned throwing the ball. I mean, to the tune of 264 yards a game.
Yeah, and they light it up and they bombs away. Yeah, they throw it out there. And so Marcus Porteres and Mr. Blanco, they're going to do their thing. It's just we see that teams like this, the Austins, the Clints, is always tough for teams.
Yeah, definitely. So just so we're clear here, you're picking Austin.
I'm picking Austin in the upset.
Gotcha. So let's go down. Next game, we're looking at Alamogordo versus Riverside.
All right, Alamogordo historically has been a very, very tough football team coming out of New Mexico,
Still are.
perennial playoff team, and that is definitely going to be a tough game for Riverside. They're going to have their hands full. Sanchez brothers over there doing their thing, up there in Alamogordo, and so we are really, really interested in this game. I think it's going to be a tight ball game, I believe. I know that Sanchez is, going to be a great defender. He's got that defense ready out there, and so I look for them to make it tough on Riverside. It's going to be a tough ball game. I like Alamogordo by at least 2 touchdowns.
I agree with you. That's going to be a tough game for Riverside, and but you know what though? That's why you play the games, right?
Yeah, that's why you line it up
games.
and
But
on any given Friday night and in the Crucible. So
yes, definitely. Next game we got Coronado versus Eastlake. I'm going Eastlake. I'm just going in there.
it's tough
I'm going
because
Eastlake.
I'm kind of stuck because I don't know the injury report yet. I don't know the injury report yet, but if Owen is playing, it is going to be a tougher ball game. I've seen both defenses, seen both offenses this year. Eastlake has a little bit more firepower without Owen on the field, and so if Owen's on the field, it kind of balances out the scale. I'm going to go Eastlake. I'm going to go Eastlake with that one as well.
Definitely. I think Lomelli's going to have a big game.
Yeah. Loma Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Loma Lee.
Y'all, I'm sorry.
Everybody be
I'm from the
messing up
South.
your name, man.
I'm from the South, so I apologize.
Loma Lee. So
Loma Lee.
Luca's going to be great. I mean, he's going to do great. I think he's quick, he's fast, he gets rid of the ball, and so I like Eastlake in that one.
Definitely. Next game, Parkland versus Chapin.
Ding, 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 ring the bell, all right?
Northeast getting ready.
Northeast getting it ready. This is it. The winner of this thing is going to walk away with the trophy for I-54. And so we certainly know that, again, with Andrews being in a developmental stage, I'll say that, in a developmental stage, the winner of this game is going to walk away with the trophy for the I-54 trophy. And so it's a tough one. We're going to find out about Parkland for sure. I know Chapin's got a lot. They just got a lot. So
they got some weapons over there.
A lot of weapons. Brent Holman Jr. is going to do his thing. Savion's going to do his thing. Davion's going to do his thing. The running backs. See, I just
Kerry
went through
Wade.
it. Kerry Wade.
Jr.,
yeah, is going to do his thing. In this one, I do like a closer game. I think that it is going to be a Chapin game by 7.
Woo. I'm going with Parkland on this one. I'm going to roll with the Park. And part of that is that Chapin's still young to me.
They are, no doubt about it. They are a young football team. So was Parkland. They lost a lot of folks off that. This is the first time Parkland is going to see this kind of speed.
Well, and now that is true.
This is the first time they're going to see this kind of speed. And so it won't be the last time, but it'll be the first time they see this kind of speed. Most teams in El Paso have 1 or 2 guys that can run. Chapin's got 5. And so the old coordinator is watching that defense and going, let me find a guy that just ain't got it in the tank, and they're going to go after that person. And so that's why I think Chapin wins that ball game. Nothing wrong with Parkland. I'm not sure after losing a couple of dudes in the secondary to college and all of that. I believe that Chapin is just gonna go air raid on them and throw the ball up and make them chase them.
Well, they're gonna have to stop Anthony Carrillo.
Good-looking little back. Shifty. We're going to find out, again, he's going to see a lot of speed on the field. So runs that typically were for, 8, 12 yards may only be 3 or 4 because there's a guy coming, filling, and able to run. So it's going to be an interesting ball game to see, the strengths of Chapin against the strengths of Parkland, and many say it's that defense. And so,
Oh yeah, and that's like they always say, defense travels.
yeah,
Defense is going to keep you in games, and I think that defense is going to keep them in the game long enough for their offense to do just enough to win.
No, certainly. So, I mean, that's why I call it a 7-point game. And so, looks like the weather is going to be a little bit cooler, and so it's going to be something else. We're gonna find out something about both of those teams. The speed of Chapin against really a few of the tough defense of Parkland, and we're going to find out if they can cover all of those guys. I know they can cover 1 or 2, but can they cover 4? And that's a little different.
Definitely. Next game of the week, Del Valle versus Canutillo.
Whew, all right. Boy, we've seen both these teams at their best, and Canutillo's schedule has kind of been one where, boy, they've been through it. I mean, what Del Valle is going to bring to the table, Canutillo is going to be, okay, let's go. Next up kind of mentality. They've seen a lot of tough football teams. Boy, this is a tough one. I believe that Canutillo and Knox are going to be very solid. We're going to find out, again, a little bit more about Del Valle's, their run stoppers. They're a smaller team. And so we've seen what Canutillo can do with in the run game, and so we're going to find out what the Del Valle run stoppers look like.
Definitely.
You've got Shelton Fuller, Manny on the back end, who's going to be, holding court in the back end. So I don't see Canutillo going down the field a lot deep, but they are going to take their shots.
Oh yeah, they have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
That game against against Pebble Hills.
Yeah.
They showed a lot, man. They showed a lot, and I think that game really set them up for the rest of their season, man.
It sounds like you like Canutillo here.
I do like Canutillo in this one, man. I like Canutillo over Del Valle in this one.
Man, I'm still. All right, y'all don't hold it against me, but I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go DV by 3. By 3. That means it's a barn burner. Somebody's kicking a field goal at the end to win it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Next game, Bel Air versus Clint.
I'll let you start on that one.
Contrary to what I think this is going to be, it's not going to be a big high-scoring game where the Bel Air is in the 60s. I don't think that's going to happen. But the flip side to that is I don't know if Clint can match up with the speed that Bel Air has.
Yep, and y'all know the deal, Truth and Linda with me. I've seen things and what they're doing and what they want to do this week, and I think that like last year, the final score of the game was 38-7. It was, again, Clint's holding the ball, whether to get a first down or not. They're holding the ball the whole game, and so so they may take 3 downs and 3 minutes are already gone and it's 4th and 3 and they punt, or it's 4th and 2 and they go for it, and then you're going to run another 3 minutes off the clock with those next 3 plays. And so if Bel Air is fortunate enough to get 6 possessions in the game, I like a same kind of score of last year, a 35-7 Bel Air type game. Now it's over at Clint. Yeah. It is over at Clint, so it's always going to be a tough football game, and you just wonder, like you said. I saw Clint, I'm a track coach too, so y'all know that. So I've seen them on the track. They got a couple guys that can run, but kind of like the Chapin game we talked about, Bel Air's got 5. And so one of those 5, if you double this one or double that one or whatever, one of those dudes is going to get you, and that's the tough part.
And so I'm more excited about the fact that this may be the first game where Bel Air's starters play the whole game.
Yeah,
just because of what you said. The
way the game works,
yeah.
And you're not going to see, unless a lot of turnovers come up, but you're not going to see a 33-35 in the first half from Bel Air. That means a lot of turnovers have happened on Clint's part. And so while Clint's going to fight really hard and they're going to be really tough, speed is going to very much be a factor in this game. And again, I don't know how many kids over there are going to be able to go both ways.
Yeah.
Last year you saw one or two from Clink going both ways on the skill side. Well, again, running up and down the field gets you tired, and so sometimes that does slow down the running game even that much more. Things that you'd break for 30, now they're only getting broke for 8, 10 because you're a little bit tired.
Yep.
So I like Bel Air in this game, certainly 35-7 to get the victory and move on to the next one.
I agree with you there. Then we got number 3, Pebble Hills versus El Dorado. I'm going Pebble Hills.
Yeah, Pebble Hills by 60.
I'm going Pebble Hills.
I'm just playing. Yeah, no, I'm not. Pebble Hills by 60. Pebble Hills is going to come angry to this football game.
Definitely.
They're going to come angry. They're going to come with something to prove. And El Dorado is still trying to figure it out right now. And no knock on Coach Martinez over there in El Dorado, but they just don't have the horses. And I promise you, Pebble Hills is coming with a chip on their shoulder, and this may be the game that they put up at. Well, they're going to put up 50, and not 60, y'all, but they're going to put up 50. I think they're going to get after them.
I'm looking for a big game out of Gael.
Yeah.
Right now he's at 195 yards a game, 4 touchdowns, but the number that sticks out to me is the 3 interceptions.
Yeah. He's thrown some untimely interceptions, and you got a young secondary over there in El Dorado, and I'm hearing that one of the young sophomores over there, 6'2" corner, he's may not get as much playing time as we think, and so and he's fast and he can run a little bit, but if he's not out there and he's long, I don't know what Eldo does in the secondary to stop Marcus Torres, the running back Quarles, the other receiver. I just don't know what they have to stop that. Gael's going to throw for 400 yards at least this week.
Yep, it's definitely going to be. I'm expecting some big numbers out of
Fireworks.
this week. Definitely.
Fireworks.
Then we got Franklin versus Americas. Now, I'm gonna let you start with this one.
Well, America's is going to be salty this week over bad taste in the mouth from last week's game, and so Franklin's beat up, and so it is possible that America's could pull the upset.
Yeah.
It is possible. Don't be shocked if that happens. I like a close game again in this one. Man, I've got 2 upsets already, don't I? Well, I'm going to go with 3. I'm going to go with Americas with the upset over Franklin. They're going to win by 6.
You know what, man? I say this every week, man. I am a huge fan of Shea Smith.
Absolutely.
I am a huge fan of Shea Smith. I just don't know if they can win this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think they're too beat up.
Yeah.
And America's coming off that loss. I think this is going to be one of them games where it's going to come down to the end and who's going to have that ball last. But I'm expecting Mark Moore to step up.
Mark Moore's going to have a big game this game. The running game that they've got going over there, the two-headed monster right now with Cameron Johnson leading the way over there for them. Promise, the senior, kind of taking a back seat a little bit to the young sophomore, but I believe that they are going to go out there with something to prove, and it's over at Franklin. It's Cougar Stadium. It's going to be over at Franklin, but I believe they're going to come out there ready to go, and I mean they are going to. They got to get back in the district race. You can't lose 2 games earlier.
And that's exactly what I was about to give this. In the fact that in the other parties, Americans really can't afford to lose this game.
No, this is that game for them, and so they'll get their time to kind of get a little lightweight rolling later on. But they have to. This is a must-win for Americans, and I think they get it done.
Definitely. Well, that's and then Eastwood is off this week, so they have a bye this week, and so that kind of rolls. That kind of sums up the top 10 and the schedule for the top 10. Folks, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to another season. Now, we're not talking about the NFL season. We're talking about another season of taking it to the house. The American arrogance cannot find its way back in basketball.
He asked the nation. He asked anybody who would put a microphone in and anybody will listen, do you believe?
All right, folks, we're back. We're going to go through now and kind of end this. We want to take a look at some of the players who've stood out thus far.
Yeah, some
for
surprises.
Us. Definitely
some surprises this year, certainly.
And so let's start at the quarterback position. Matthew, Matthew, I'm sorry if I butcher your last name. Don't blame it on the brain, not the heart. Matthew Slosar.
Yeah, like
the quarterback from Mountain View. 327 yards per game, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Mountain View is airing it out.
They're airing it out and they're letting it fly. And we're so early in the season to put those kind of average those kind of numbers. Kind of tells you that tells you what they want to do down the road. And so the folks in their district better get their DBs ready because they're going to be slinging it all over the field. I think as you think about for a 4A guy to be leading the charge, and the rest of the quarterbacks, look, y'all, let's just keep it real. Everybody else is doing what they normally do, okay? And so they're right on pace, and by the end of the year, what you think is going to happen is probably going to happen. Those guys are going to rise. The normal ones are going to rise to the top. The Evan Menjarez, the Gallo Cho, Marcus Porres, Noah Moreno, all those dudes that were lighting it up last year, they're going to move back up to the top of the ladder like normal. Mark Moores, they're all going to be back at the top again.
And you know what? It just goes to show this, and I say this all the time. There is a lot of talent at the quarterback position here in the city.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Well, and watch this. You know the haters out there. You know how they do. They go, it's 4A. Man, it's hard to play football, y'all. I mean, you still got to snap it. You still got to make the right read, and you still got to throw the ball to the right place.
And there is the defense on the other side.
Yeah, defense on the other side. The line's got to block. Man, that's a lot of things to have to go right to complete a pass when you think about it. So congratulations to the young man from Anthony. Well done. I'm sorry, Mountain View. Sorry about that. Mountain View.
Jumping ahead.
I was jumping ahead.
So the next, on the rushing side, Anthony Carrillo, the senior from Parkland.
I was peeking, y'all. I was peeking.
The senior from Parkland, 162.3 yards per game, 2 touchdowns.
Been electric, and we saw the kickoff return, took to the house. I mean, saw him on TV with the interviews and all those things like that. That's what you do. Parkland's been historically one of those places in the city that typically always finds a running back. They've always got one, and so it looks like they've got one now again this time. So we look forward to seeing how this works out.
Definitely. And then the receiver. Now, who was the receiver guy?
The freshman.
It was the freshman.
Yeah,
Carlos Rojas.
The freshman from over there at Riverside. Wow. I mean, he is, really kind of like the Mountain View kid, really dominating, going and getting it, putting on a show. And that's what you want from those skill guys that, man, you're watching, man, they return the punt. Oh, they return the kick. You sit on your seat waiting for those type of special players to, dare we say, prime time.
101 yards per game, 5 touchdowns in 3 games.
Oh, yeah, just absolutely just lighting it up. And, again, the normal cast of characters are doing their things. The Jude Blancos, the Diego Oaxacas, the Chris Davises of the world, while their numbers aren't up as where they will be, we know by the time they come to the year, it's like the quarterbacks are all going to be where they normally are. But it's great seeing a young crop of guys because it tells you kind of peek down and you see next couple of years and few years that El Paso's reloading. And so it's time to learn some of those new names that are coming.
Definitely. And so, those were our surprises thus far in the season. Looking forward to what all the student athletes out there are going to do in the next coming games. And got anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, I tell you what, we hope that safety first and foremost. Bowie remains in our prayers for the young man who passed away, and of course this is going to be a difficult week, and not only for the school, first and foremost for his family, but the schools had a difficult week, and the band members, the players, just everybody, the trainers who were there treating the kid. Really is a tough week for them, and so our prayers and hearts go out to the folks at Bowie, and so we pray for them, and God's peace and God's grace be upon each and every one of you.
Definitely. And so I just want to say our condolences to the family of the Bowie student athlete, and they're definitely in our prayers. But all the other student athletes out there, keep grinding, keep doing your thing. We watching, we're seeing you. It's a long season. It's a long season. Just keep that in mind. And production does matter. At the end of the day, production does matter because week 5, we're going to put our front runners out for the Player of the Year. So just be on the lookout for that. Also, I need to put this information out so that on the administrative side here. So, folks, we're starting to populate the website. So you go to the website now, Fieldhouse Sports, fieldhousesen.com. You can get our power rankings. You can get stats. You can get game results. You can get all of that stuff on there. We're going to start doing articles. You're going to start seeing all those things get popular. So we're populating this. The stats, I mean, it's a work in progress. We've got the offensive side done. We'll have the defensive side done before Friday, and it'll be up to date from there. But the schedules are on there. Everything you're looking for as far as keeping up with our student athletes here in the Borderland, you can find there on the website. And it'll be scrolling across the ticker on the bottom. You can take a look and catch it there. But that's it for me, man. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, what a great time we had this week, and we're looking forward to seeing how the results come out. And, watch out maybe for a special guest on Saturday morning as we kind of go back and review how things went on Friday night.
Definitely. It's been another episode of Borderland Sports Report. Be blessed.